Wildcats, Mrs. Bowden here, and today we're going to look at another element of art, shape. Our goal today is that we will learn about the two kinds of shapes so that we can create abstract art in the style of Alexander Calder. Go ahead and pause the video to gather your whiteboard, marker, a couple pieces of paper, and crayons. A shape is created when line goes all the way around and connects back up. There are two types of shapes. Geometric, think shapes we see in math with lots of straight lines. And organic, shapes we see in nature. Lots of curves, and they're not perfectly even. Great for artists like me that have a hard time with that. All right, let's also learn a bit about Alexander Calder. Alexander Calder was an American artist that started out making toys that moved. He used engineering to figure out how to do this. He also loved creating movable art out of wire and colorful shapes. He later made large movable art he called mobiles that use air currents to move. This colorful fish mobile is what we're going to try to reproduce. As we look at it, can you see any geometric shapes? Good. There are some circles, but I also notice lots of organic shapes. As I look at it closely, I notice he used lots of cool colors with some warm colors mixed around. Let's remind ourselves what geometric and organic shapes are. You can pause here and practice on your own, or you can practice with me. Get your whiteboard and marker out, and let's practice making shapes. The first shape I'm going to make is a circle. Let's make it a round. You also could make it with a C and a backwards C and connect them and fill it in. Next, I'm going to make a square by drawing a straight vertical line, connecting the top line, adding a side line and the bottom line, and filling it in. I also want to make a triangle. I'm going to do this by drawing a diagonal line pointing towards the corner and another one, then connecting them with a straight line. I made an organic shape. It's a crescent moon or a backward C and a rectangle as well as some other organic shapes. When you're ready, get out your two pieces of paper and a black or a dark crayon. Put your paper horizontal. Find halfway down your paper and put 2 or 3 fingers against the side of the paper and then put a little dot right beside them. Then follow the imaginary line across and again put your fingers down to make a space for your second dot. Now, before I use my crayon, I'm going to take my finger and start just above the first dot and practice making a big rainbow line to the second dot. When you're ready, grab your crayon and draw the top of your fish. Don't forget to end at the second dot. Next, we're going to draw a nice big smile. You can either start below the dot or you can connect the first and second dot. Don't forget to practice with your finger first. Now we're going to make the mouth with the big letter V. For the tail, draw a diagonal line toward the corner of the paper and another one, and then connect them. For a nice big eye, draw a big circle and then draw and color in a dot. Now, to make big sections for my fish, one way is to make small lines that start on my big line and draw towards the middle. They are spaced far apart from each other. Stop at the outer edge of the eye. You don't want to go through it. And now what we're going to do is add a little V to connect each small line, almost like a little picket fence. Let's do the same thing on our fish's belly. If it helps, you can turn your fish upside down to do this. To add more sections, I drew a line from my points and just connected them up again with a V. This can get a little tricky. So if there's another way you would like to add some big sections to your fish, you are welcome to do that. Then I looked it over and added some more lines. Lastly, I added some lines to my tail. Now comes the fun part. Pick out the colors you want to use. And you're going to decide what shapes you want to have and draw them on another piece of paper. You could pick just 3, or you can have more. After you've drawn some shapes, pick the shapes that you would like to use. I put a little check mark to remind myself. Pick your first color and draw each shape with that color. I tried to have several spaces apart from each shape. Then go to your next color and again draw all the shapes with that one color. Don't forget your tail. And sign your artwork at the bottom. You could also add your year as well. I decided I wanted to add some more detail to my fish. You could create water, or you could outline your shapes with a different color, or press harder to make it darker around the outside, adding value. How did it go? If you tried different shapes and colors in each section, you were successful. Thank you for trying something new today. See you next week.